Sunday at noon, we left Wicklow in Ireland just before high tide, and we got the tide with us for maybe 7 hours, and that was very good because there was no wind at all when we started out. So we were rowing for maybe 1.5, 2 hours, and then a little breeze came, and we hoisted the sail and sailed down the Irish coast, out in the Celtic Sea. And when we were out there, we had hoped to have north and northwesterlies, but we actually got westerlies on the beam all the way down with the wind from the side. They said force 5 to 6, but actually it was more.
It wasn't really a storm, but we run into the Atlantic rollers once we left the lee of Ireland, so we had quite a lot of swell on the side of the boat, so it was good sailing, but very interesting with the waves.
We have been in hard weather before, for instance in the North Channel last year when we were going down to Dublin, and at that time the wind was much harder and the wave was much higher, but it was only for 2, 3, 4 hours, and then we came over it. But these last 2 days, and a long stretch of sailing, yeah, it never ended.
We've never been out for quite as long in quite as heavy weather with the waves on the side like we did the last 2 days. It was a tough couple of days.
We took a lot of water. We were bailing and bailing all the time with I think we used 5 to 6 pumps, and they were bailing all the time. The ship was rolling a lot and took water in from both sides. And when it smashed into the waves, it came over like rain, heavy rain, up in the front of the ship.
I didn't get a lot of sleep, and I was spent. That's all you can say. I was pretty much spent.
It was cold, wet, but it was fun. Didn't get much sleep. A couple of hours.
Myself personally, I was pretty sick. I threw up a couple of times.
About half of the crew was seasick. Many of us were very seasick, so they couldn't do anything. So some of them we brought over to the escort ship.
In the beginning it was not so bad, and I was in the very front of the ship as the lookout, and it was there were high waves, and you were standing there, and sometimes it was really far down to the surface of the water because the entire front just lifted out of the water, and so it was really rocking up and down and right and left, and I got a little seasick, but I was like, I just need to get over with my shift, and then it'll be my turn to slip down in the bottom. But by the time the shift changed and it was my turn, all the good beds were taken, and so I got to sleep actually only 1 meter behind where I had been standing as a lookout, and so I was still shaking a lot, and I just was seasick ever since from that. So, and after having been seasick for more than 24 hours, I also started shaking. It was really cold, and so the nurse aboard decided that me and a few other people also need to go to Cable 1.
It was quite rough, and I think about a third part of the team on board was very seasick, but they wanted to stay at the Sea Stallion.
And I got to take my hat off to the crew. They're a tough bunch of people all around there. Everybody just came through it with flying colors. They're a tough group of young men and women, and I'm happy to be with them.
The construction ship is very, very good, yeah. You can see the flexibility in the hulls. It really moves and bends, which is extremely good, because otherwise I think it would fall apart.
The ship, as usual, it came through it with flying colors. It was just a marvelous, marvelous ship to sail.
She's a very well-built ship, very, very seaworthy. Very pleased with her.
When you look back on it, you can say it was a good experience, but when you were living it, you might have just slightly different thoughts. It's a tough way to get through a couple of days.